All right, so this is the graph of this equation, y cubed minus y equals x cubed minus x. It's kind of a weird graph. It has this line, y equals x, because notice in the equation, if y equals x, then of course these two sides are the same, right? So it has to include the line y equals x, and it also has this ellipse here, kind of a slanted ellipse. So it's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, notice if I reflect in the y-axis this way, I don't get the same thing. This part of this elliptoid thing goes over here, right? Just reflect this ellipse. Even this line goes to this other line here if you reflect in the y-axis. In fact, if you try to reflect this in the x-axis, this line y equals x also goes here, which is not on the original graph. So it can't be symmetric in the y-axis, it can't be symmetric in the x-axis. But it is symmetric in the origin. If you take a point here and you go through the origin a certain distance and then go the same distance on the other side of the origin, it's a point on the graph. Same thing with this elliptoid thing. If you go through the origin and then go the same distance in the same direction, keep going, you end up on the graph again. Start from here. This looks like 0, 1. You go through the origin, which would be a distance of 1, then go another distance of 1, and you end up on the curve again. And you can do that with any of these points. Another way to look at it, if you rotate, the easier way really, if you take this graph and you rotate it 180 degrees, you get the exact same graph, right? So 180 degrees, you take this and you rotate that around to there, and it's going to look exactly the same. So this is symmetric in the origin. It is not symmetric in the y-axis, and it's not symmetric in the x-axis. Okay, so that's the last video for this section. You might have to go over parts of this several times. I would recommend pulling up the PDF and looking through that a few times and do the reading. They have other examples in the reading. And make sure that you understand all of those as well as possible before trying the practice problems. And then when you do the practice problems, start with the easiest ones first.